If you'd like to see more of our videos, hit the subscribe button to stay on. Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMtrading. Today's May 21st, 2020. And today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, Facebook stock makes all-time new highs in light of the fact that we're in this pandemic environment. But first, let's take a look at the economic events of the day. So looking at the economic events of the day, we've got a bunch of events coming out today, starting out at 9:15 South African time. First, starting out from the European Union, we have French Flash Services PMI number coming out 9:15. And then at 9:30, German Flash Manufacturing and Services PMI numbers coming out. And then in the afternoon, coming out of the United States, at 3:45 South African time, Flash Manufacturing PMI number coming out. And lastly, we have Fed Chair Powell will be speaking at 8:30 this evening. Let's take a look at the markets. So looking at the markets at large, we're watching the euro actually to continue to be strong while the British pound actually weakens. And the question is which one is going to catch up to which? I'm going to take a look at that in just a second. Looking at the Dow Jones, it's starting to trade in a tighter range. The higher end 24,500-ish level and 24,200-ish level. Every time it goes within those two parameters, it seems to be bouncing off of it. It's a very hard environment to read through, as some stocks are strong and some are just not as strong. I don't want to call them weak exactly, but they're not as strong. Now looking at the commodities, we're watching gold trade on support while oil continues to climb higher. Okay, in the anticipation that the lockdown is going to be easing and there's going to be further demand for oil. Lastly, looking at the stocks, they generally have traded higher based on the fact of Facebook. But let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're going to first take a look here at the Euro USD at a 4-hour chart. These are our upper range and lower range. Okay, it's about a 200 pip range. And we saw this nice rally this week. As soon as it hit that resistance-ish level at 109.97, we took a little bit of a bow face. Now we are trading at this upper range, not trading much lower. And the question is which way is this going to go? Because if it does break this moving average, we may see it back somewhere in the middle range. Whereas when we look at the GBP USD, okay, we see something really very different. Here we see it actually being very weak versus the dollar, not bouncing at all. We're looking at a 1-hour chart just to give us a perspective of it. And we're right here at that previous resistance supportish level, okay, interestingly enough. And this is not giving us much of a headway. As long as it doesn't break this supportish level, okay, if it does break this 121.95, then I do think that we will break down lower, okay? It's still trading in a pretty tight range, so it's a little bit difficult to pick your spots here because it's really very choppy. Now, jumping into the Rand, okay, this is really very important. We're right now trading just below 18 Rand for the dollar. We're hitting that support at 17.85. And if this does break 17.85, I do think we will break down on the downside. Okay, it does look like it's setting itself up for a wedge formation, and we may see a correction here imminently. Okay, might not hit pin today or tomorrow, but within the next few days we may see it actually correct to 17.85 and getting the Rand a little bit stronger versus the USD. Now jumping into commodities, looking at gold here, trading at 1741, also teasing us at this level and not giving us a direction as to whether or not we're going to be breaking higher or trading within this range. So something to consider here as this unfolds. However, looking at gold, it's a bona fide upwards momentum. Okay, now we did hit almost $34.50 for the price of oil per barrel, and we are just taking a little bit of a breather here. But altogether, this does have some momentum on the upside. I would continue using the averages as a support line. Okay, if you are in this long, then you want to use that as a support line in case it does breach it. Especially if it breaches it with some momentum on the downside, okay, you want to book your profits. However, at this stage, we're still going higher, okay? $35 a barrel is a resistance-ish area, so just be aware of it. You might book your profits then and there as well. But the markets look like they're easing as the lockdowns are easing across the world. Looking at the Dow Jones, all right, we're right now trading at 24,366. Now, this has been a little bit of a roller coaster ride over the past couple of days, okay? Not much doing here besides trading in a range. And it's really very difficult to gauge this, okay? Because that's your upper range, that's your lower range. Every time we hit somewhere around this area, 24,335-ish area, we bounce off of it, okay? So with that said, we are getting to this lower part of the range while the stocks are actually making, some of them making, new highs, new all-time highs. So if we jump to Facebook, okay, that's really the one, and we're looking at a weekly chart, okay, this was its high back in February, okay. Now this is where we are right now, 229, okay. Unbelievable comeback for Facebook. It's not just on its highs, it's at new all-time highs, okay. In this world of pandemic that we're in, this is really unprecedented, very important and very significant, because remember, Facebook is one of the FANG stocks that has carried the markets higher, okay? Despite what's, traditionally the market of the home builders, the real estate companies, the oil companies, the healthcare companies, the fact that Facebook is actually breaking out to new highs is very significant, okay? So there are some stocks that are breaking out new highs. Now we look at JP Morgan. It moved to the upper range, okay? It's still not breaking above its $97 range, okay? We're right now trading at 91, so nothing to really write home about necessarily today, okay? But these are breaking out. If we look at NVIDIA also on its highs, not breaking out higher, but on its highs. When we look at Amazon and Apple, close to its all-time highs, okay? Amazon making all-time highs, okay? So 2 of the 5 FANG stocks are making all-time highs, okay? That's very, very significant. Does that mean the markets are coming back tomorrow? No. But does that mean certain sectors are strong and I should expect volatility to continue? Yes, okay? And that's what we're looking for as traders. So just be aware of these nice little breakouts that we're having, and this may cue us into a bigger move on the upside as we continue trading throughout the session today and throughout the week. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.